Finishes by 5 p.m. Slowpoke.
But I have lots of work to do.
Hello, Candidate Director, Ms. Samantha, Mr. Alan, good morning. I would like to greet three of you and thank you for coming voluntarily to Malaysian Mediation Center today to resolve a disagreement that has arisen between the three of you. Since you three agreed to come here, I assume that you three are dedicated to using the system to your advantage and working to find the best solution to your conflict. I would want to introduce myself before we start our session. So I'm Syafiq and today I'll be your mediator. You can call me Syafiq. So please allow me to give you a brief overview of my credentials. Since I began practicing alternative dispute resolution in 2015, I have handled a plethora of issues that have been brought to my attention. Right?
Good morning, Mr. Syafiq.
Alright.
Good morning, guys. Good morning.
So, to give you a better understanding of the mediation process, I will first define mediation before moving on. In general, mediation is a consensual procedure in which opposing parties choose a mediator to facilitate a voluntary settlement of their differences. So, the parties involved in the mediation are referred to as mediation parties, as is the individual who facilitates it. So I will serve as the mediator today to help the three of you come to a resolution of the conflict. So my duty in this situation is to serve as a neutral mediator. So I won't make any suggestion. I'll only help you come into an agreement with a solution. So additionally, I won't take sides during this conversation, and I have no authority to compel you to make a choice or determine how to resolve this issue. If any of you feels that I'm not being impartial at any point during this process, please let me know. Let's have the information that you given me today regarding the parties and their viewpoints. Although this has given me some exposure to your arguments, it is not enough for me to form an opinion or have any preconceived notions about the nature of your disagreement or how it ought to be settled. So furthermore, as parties, you are present to settle your disagreement while upholding mutual respect. I'm here to hear what you have to say, and then we will try to reach an amicable agreement. So I should make it clear for the record before we begin the session that a copy of mediation agreement and submission statements have been sent to each party in advance of this meeting. So please allow me to give a brief explanation of the procedure we will be using today.
Okay.
So each party will make their opening statement while when I have been speaking. The position of your party is stated in the opening statement. So it ought to be between 5 and 20 minutes, something like that. So the background of the conflict, the relief or resolution you believe is appropriate, and any further information you would like to add to clarify your position would typically be included in an opening statement. So we shall stay together for so-called joint session after each of you makes an opening statement. So to ensure that we comprehend your viewpoint and have all the information we want, the mediator will clarify and summarize the facts presented by each of you during the joint session. So I want to reassure you that we will keep your information private. And I also want to remind you that you must give us permission to disclose something if you want it made public. We will then get back together and brainstorm a solution. So I will draw the written contract for you three to sign after we have settled on all the solution. So I need your support on time and authority concerned for this process to succeed. It takes time for mediation to flourish because it is a process. So I won't keep you here against your choice, but I need your promise to stay and help resolve the conflict as long as it moves forward. So I need to have a broad understanding of how this argument is developing, which is why I'm asking for this commitment. So you all will have just a portion of this picture. So are you prepared to commit in this session? How about you, Ms. Samantha?
We agree to commit.
Alright, how about you?
Yes, I also will oblige to do.
And you, Mr. Alan?
Agree.
Alright, so good. So we are trying to come to consensus. I want to thank you again for agreeing to take part. So that we don't go over schedule, would you please let me know who wish to make the opening statement first?
I will go first. So basically, my name is Samantha and I've been working in Ken Brothers, their company, as assistant manager for the past 5 years. I assist Mr. Allen in overseeing the 2 lines of products and 40 general workers under him. So basically, this is what I do, and now we are facing some clash, and that's why we came here.
I see. Thank you, Samantha. So, how about you, Mr. Allen?
Alright, so my name is Ellen and I have acted as the head manager and supervisor for Miss Samantha for the past 5 years. Therefore, it has been my duty to constantly oversee her work and as well as encourage her to perform well in her duties.
I see. So, thank you, Ellen. How about you, Mr. Director, Ken Director?
Hi, I'm Ken. So I'm the director of this company and also the employer of both Miss Samantha and also Mr. Allen. And I also should be the one who should be overseeing the conduct of our workers in the company. And in this matter, I would just like to put a stand that maybe Miss Samantha has some bad blood with Mr. Allen. And I also heard that maybe you want to bring this to the court if nothing was taken into action by the company. And hence, I hope that this mediation session can help us to reach a settlement that each party can agree to. And I hope you won't bring this to the court, please.
I see.
We'll see throughout the
Alright. Okay, so I've heard from Ms. Samantha, Mr. Allen, and also Ken, the director. So thank you, 3 of you, for the remarkable opening statement, which is one of the 5 stages in our mediation for today. So I will now go over some of the guidelines for today's meeting. To prevent any unneeded interruptions for today's discussion, it is imperative that 3 of you abide by the 3 ground rules. So, first and foremost, I must declare categorically that this meeting will be kept secret because secrecy is one of the mediation's core. It implies that anything we discuss during today's session will stay within the mediation's wall and won't be shared outside of it without the parties' point approval. And next, I'd like to proceed by reminding that you have a limited amount of time to speak. As a result, I genuinely hope that you won't interrupt one another by bringing up any pointless topic. And it is highly recommended that you skip to the point. Lastly, you are free to communicate your feelings and the problem in your own words. So to ensure that none of the parties are insulted, however, please refrain from using unpleasant language and talk properly and quietly. So, Ms. Samantha, Mr. Allen, and also the Ken Director,
Yes.
have I made myself clear with the ground rules?
Yes, clear as it is, Mr. Syafiq.
Yes, we are here.
I see.
Very clear.
Alright. So we're moving to the next stage. So okay, now we are moving to the stage 2, which is the joint session. So we will now go on the mediation procedure, second phase. Samantha will be the first to speak. So I'm curious as to how the argument got started. So please start.
Okay, basically, I've been working in the company for the past 5 years, like I said just now, and I've been assisting Mr. Allen in production management. So what happened was actually, like, for the past 5 years, they've been giving me a lot of work, a lot of overloading me with a lot of tasks where I can't, which I can't meet the deadlines as per se and as per asked. So because I can't meet the deadline, they've been calling me with abusive words such as slow as turtle. They call me like I'm no good to anywhere, and they're trying to isolate me because I can't finish their task and everything. So it has been mentally very abusive. And because I can't finish the task, they recently demoted me to as a supervisor without prior notice, and it was very reasonable, and it's very unsatisfactory because I lost my income and everything. So that's why I'm here, because I want to take legal action against them.
I see. So I have heard already from you, Samantha. So thank you for your brief, Samantha. But please remain calm. I know you're sad about this. So I understand your concern about you cannot meet with the deadline because of a lot of work that you need to be done, that given by your manager, by Ellen. So it's okay. So now, Ellen, do you mind explaining the issue that seems to bother you for today?
Alright, so as I have mentioned earlier, I have acted as head manager and supervisor for Samantha for the past 5 years, and my role is to push her and encourage her to perform well in her duties. Therefore, I think as her supervisor, it is only normal for me to give her constructive criticism. It is my apologies that she sees it as bullying and abuse. During her 5 years, it can be said that her performance has not remained consistent. She often submits her work beyond the deadline set by the company, and yet the company has retained her for 5 years. Plus, I have appointed Rick as the new assistant manager as the company believes that he is the best fit for the role.
I see. So So thank you, Mr. Allen. I heard a lot from you about the situation from your side. So I know your concern. So perhaps, can the director, can you explain more for about today?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Syafiq.
Yes.
So actually, in this regard, I may be partly in fault because I know that it is negligence on my part for not noticing that there is such bad blood becoming between Ms. Samantha and also Mr. Allen. And at one point, I approved that Samantha to being transferred to another position because I actually have received countless complaints about Ms. Samantha, and I thought that the HR department has done all of the procedures to transfer her, but sadly it was not done as so. And I, as the director, am very saddened by this negligence on the part of my other departments, and so I hope that things can be settled later, maybe.
Okay, if I understand correctly, Ms. Samantha, during your work time, the people over there call you with the unpleasant name, so you feel abused of that?
Of course.
I see. So, and then secondly, they, without proper reasoning, they replace you.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
see. So meanwhile, Alan and the Ken director, what bring both of you come here today is because there's a lot of complaint that made by the colleague about the performance that made by the Samantha. Is it correct?
Yes.
Alright. So yes, it is. Alright, thank you, Samantha, Alan, and also Ken the director.
Okay.
So after I have understood the situation, I think we should move on to the third stage, which is develop the solution. So let's address the issue, which is the first, abusive behavior, specifically bully at the workplace, and secondly, demoted without proper procedure. So, Ms. Samantha,
Yes.
please, I would like to hear from you. What's your suggestion about this?
So yes, basically, yes, Mr. Syafiq. So basically, after what I've been through, I demand an open apology letter from Mr. Allen because he has been putting me throughout lots of mental abuse and lots of humiliation and shame at my workplace. And on top of that, I want the company to put me back as in the same position as I worked before, which is the assistant manager in the production department. And I want a 25% salary increment on top of my salary as assistant manager before. And also I want compensation for as a 3-month salary as a compensation for what I've been through and because of my loss of income since I was demoted. So that's my demand for not going to the court.
I see, Ms. Samantha. So are you suggesting that you are entitled at first for apologize letter made from the company? And
Yes, I definitely am.
Alright, I see. And secondly, you want to put you back in the same position, which is assistant manager of production department.
Exactly.
And then you want a compensation for wrongfully demoting, and as well the salary increment for 25%.
Absolutely.
I see. So, get back to you. Probably from the company side, I would like to hear any solution from this.
No, sorry, Ms. Samantha. I do not agree with your demand. As a salary has increased with 35%, and also a 3-month salary given to you is really unreasonable, and thus I cannot just agree to that. But I can agree with putting you back with the same position. However, I would like to suggest that I would like to make sure that the head manager, which is Mr. Allen, to put you in a performance improvement plan where he can help you and monitor you. And then if you in that situation, you have to do your best to improve yourself. If not, we will go through the correct procedure of such as counseling you and so on to transfer you to another department. I think that's all we can offer you.
Alright, so for me, Miss Samantha, okay, fine, I can agree to your request for apology. Sure, I apologize right now, I'm sorry. But I think that you also need to improve yourself, and my actions in the past has only been due to your own incompetency, and I'm only acting in the company's best interest. Do you understand that, Miss Samantha?
Mr. Ken and Mr. Allen, you're trying to justify your act and now you're trying to put the blame on me. You're trying to say my work is slow, but you've been overloading work on my and disturbing my schedule. It's okay, Mr. Allen and Mr. Ken. If you can't fulfill my demand, I will proceed with the court. I will proceed with the labor department, because I know the procedure that you did was wrong, and you did not justify.
Three of you, please calm down.
No, I can't calm down. I can't calm down.
Miss
Her
Samantha?
apology was not even sincere.
I see. It's okay. Miss Samantha,
I am
Miss
the
Ellen,
victim
Miss Ken,
here.
please relax. Please calm down, okay? Remember the purpose of the three of you coming for mediation. So I don't think these things are getting better, okay? So in order to dig deeper into this issue, I shall remind of you to start again, okay? With an open heart, and then we try to reach the consensus. Right? Is it okay for three of you? Right? Okay.
See? Yeah.
Right. 2, 1. Alright, Miss Samantha, Mr. Allen, and as well, candidate director. I have seen three of you are almost in developing a solution. So I shall believe we can proceed to the next stage, which are finalizing the solution. So maybe I shall pass to Samantha first.
So basically, my demand is I want to work there, but if can, I want to work in different position, because I don't want to see his face again. And also, I want to remain the same. I want to maintain the same salary, and also I want to demand for a compensation for wrongful demotion.
Yes. Okay.
That's all.
How about you? Can the director, maybe something from your company side?
Okay, Ms. Samantha, because I also admit that this is a fault in our part for replacing you with someone else without informing you beforehand, and that's and I also respect your demand that you want to work in another position. But how about I offer you to transfer to another department with the same position as the assistant manager, and then just that and also the month's compensation, I think I can follow with that.
Thank you.
No objections from me.
See, so I'm delighted that we were able to find a workable solution for the three of you. So I appreciate you working with me to come up with a compromise. So I would like the three of you to sign the agreement before we adjourn this meeting as evidence that we have settled today. So please give me a few minutes to prepare the documents that both of you have agreed.
Sure.
All right.
Okay.
I see. Okay. This one. All right. So, Miss Samantha,
Yes.
candidate director, and Miss Ellen. So, in this agreement, we have included that we have agreed today. So, Samantha, when you sign this agreement, you need to comply with the conditions made by the candidate director and as well Ellen. So this applies to you as well, Ellen and the candidate director. So in the event that either party breach any term in the agreement, the aggrieved party may sue the defaulting party for the breach of the agreement. So Samantha, Ellen, and Ken, please sign the agreement. So I shall pass to
Manager in finance department.
I see. So finance
And-
department.
Yeah, finance department. I agree. I will also be remain with my same salary
I
price
see.
before this.
All right.
Thank you so much. And also, you agree to give me
Compensation.
5,000 ringgit compensation for wrongful demotion.
I see.
Thank you. So I'll agree lah this offer.
Okay, thank you, Miss Samantha. Really well done. So how about you, Miss Ellen, and also the candidate director? Maybe you can read the.
Alright, agreed.
Please put your sign there.
Alright.
And then you, candidate director, also please sign the agreement.
Okay, just the same.
All right. So I've seen three of you have signed this document, and then me as the mediator as for today, which is the witnesses for this session, will sign this agreement as well. All right. So once again, I want to thank all of you for your tremendous work and collaboration throughout today's session. So I want to reiterate that the default party may be sued if either party violates the mediation agreement. So we will conclude our session now. So thank you very much, Ms. Samantha, Mr. Ken, and as well Ms. Ellen. Thank you for coming for mediation.
Thank you so much.
So we shall resolve. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.